Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another episode of Sword of the Demon Hunter. We're on episode 13. So, the last episode, we are getting to the heart of the issue. The demon liquor, quite literally, is been tied back to a demon, not any demon, but the demon, the one that changed and shifted Jinya's life forever. And he has figured out that it has got to be, or most likely is, Suzune who's behind all of this. And he's keeping it to himself for the moment. We see that Kitsu is trying to figure out why Jinya, who's normally fairly unflappable, is so shaken by the mention of this golden-haired woman, but he's keeping it close to the vest, as he often does when it comes to these situations. And that tells me that he's going to, or he's planning to attack or fall into this trap, so to speak, by himself. But I do think that this is something where Jinya is going to need help, and maybe this is going to be one of those episodes where he learns that he is nowhere near ready, despite all the training he's done, despite the fact that he's so much stronger than he was the last time he saw her. I do think that we might potentially be walking up to an episode where Jinya is going to be sunned hard and, you know, made to realize that this is not something he can probably do on his own, even though he's not a fully a human anymore. So we'll have to see. I'm looking forward to it. Let's jump into the episode. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to know when I drop episodes, please hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. He turned already? Oh no. I don't think there's any way back. That's the one man who loved her. Like a father, I mean. Oh, still has some sense about him. I feel like he's more of a regret demon than a rage one. Honestly, he seems like he's such a kind heart. It's not him anymore. She knows. Or he knows. Meanwhile, this spirit fight's still happening. That did significantly more damage than Jinya's sword. Damn, Jinya. You better watch out for this guy. He might actually be able to kill you. He chose it, though. He knew exactly what we now know. He knew exactly what the liquor was going to do. Yeah, see, it's white smoke. I'm sorry, girl. Your dad is gone. Yeah, this one's hard. He actually liked him. Suzune did this on purpose. He wanted to make sure anybody that Jinya might have cared for, anyone he could have possibly would have cared for, might be turned into a demon. Left him, though. Left him. Which is a good thing. Why? Because you couldn't take out Suzune? That was not weakness. That part's true. I don't think that's who you are, though. Oh, not the peace symbol, the water and the ripple. I love how the Japanese symbolize peace with water. I wonder if he often wishes he'd run away with her. She wouldn't have gone, but you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe if things had been different. I don't actually think he wants to hurt her, oddly enough. Maybe you should drink it, Jinya. I mean, if it's making people demons, it might make you stronger. I think he's about to expose his secret. Yep. What does demon liquor do to an existing demon? That's the question. Is it cowardly? Homie's like, what's your problem? Now you know. She's still gonna be in love with him anyway. Yeah, your family's kind of cursed. Now that sounded clean. Try not to destroy the whole house. She gotta live there. She may not want to live there anymore, though. Where's Zenji? It's true. Don't say my name, bro. We're not close like that. You can't protect everything. Biggest fallacy humans have. Very interesting. I don't think the dad had a lot of anger, because we didn't hear the other demons talk.
さようなら、父上。
Chichue. Quick and painless. He would have appreciated that.
なんなんこれ。
もう終わった。
Maybe back up with that look.
近寄るな。
Do you forget what you look like, bro?
あんたはお父様を
He wasn't your dad
近寄
anymore.
らないで化け物。
Okay. That is going to be rough on him because he did think of her as his sister.
死んでしまった方が楽になれたかと思
You
う。
don't, though, because you could have let him kill you.
君にそこまで言わせるとか尋常やない
This is
な。
kind of his general way of thinking. He just doesn't talk about it much. You gotta
あ
find
とは
Suzume.
大元を片付けるだけだ。
Yeah, otherwise it's just gonna make more. Because at this point, no one's actually seen the effects, so no one's gonna believe that this is literally demon liquor. I think it's so funny that they're doing a play on that expression.
ちょい待って。もうちょい。
No, I'm not human. Keep up.
ここ数日歩き詰めやで。
Just think of how nice and perky your butt's gonna be.
やっぱな。なんとなくそうやとは思ったけど
Can you let
ね。
us know?
教えてくれるんやろうね。
Blood of a demon, maybe?
泉に麹ぶち込んだからってどうにもならんやろ。ぶち込むのが麹でなければいい。
Exactly.
混成酒というものがある。
They're delicious.
鬼に変える何かが漬け
You
込まれ
didn't
とる
figure that part out.
そしてそれをやったんが例の金髪の女。
Ding ding, prize.
泉には非業の死を遂げたムクロが沈められている。
Oh. So the spring part was true. I wasn't sure about that.
雪の名残の正体を知りにわざわざ今日から来たんだ。
Exactly.
そうやけどこんな目に遭う。
Yeah, he's like, I thought it was going to be pretty, like a pretty much a day job. 2 days at most. In someplace warm.
白雪化し。ん
Hopefully really helped you out, huh?
雪の名残は死者の胸。
Remorse
この
will
世
be
に
on
残
the
した
grave.
思いでできた酒なんだ。
Okay.
こんな恨み抱えて死んだんやろ。
Exactly. This path of flowers to hell.
僕ここで休んでるわ。もう足パンパン。だが、か弱い人間の出番はここまでや。
Then why'd you come? I guess he recognized that this is something between Jinya and whoever's at the end of that road. I have a sneaking suspicion that Ikitsu's still going to be listening in, though. He would not come this far just to not find out what's going on. I wonder if Jinya actually believes the act that he puts on most of the time.
憎しみを煽り、よどませ。人を鬼へと変え。
Who are you just reaching for in the water?
そうしていればいつか。鬼を撃つ者が止めてくれると信
Oh,
じて。
that's not his first love's body. Oh, Sasune, you are a cold.
こんなになっても。俺を求めてくれたんだな。
Well, Sasune, if you thought that was going to make him like you, it probably had the opposite effect.
結局あなたを傷つけて。
私は見こもりだ。五木姫のために剣を振るうのは当然だろう。
That is the right way to look at it.
ありがとう。
Oh, did she get to be at peace now, finally? I thought she was at peace from before.
それじゃあね。ジンタ。
Till next time. And she's at peace. Finally. Someplace that hag of a sister of yours can't hurt her anymore. Okay, so Sasune was not there.
鬼の噂も乱闘やらも収まっとる。
Wonder why.
民が浮き足立っているのはそれが原因。
Yeah, sobering up's no
ち
fun.
ゃうちゃう。それは世相のせい。
I guess hopefully that means Zenji's gonna be okay.
なんや、浮かん顔やね。
Right, he's like, you don't look like you won anything here.
今回の黒幕な。またなんか企むかもしれんってこと。
She definitely is. This was part of the plan.
もし今日によることあったら尋ねてな。
You'll probably try to kill me, so no. Ooh, I'd never drink sake again. Tea only for life now.
こんなに来なかったのって初めてじゃないですかい？
ああ、いろいろあってな。
Yeah, life got a little crazy.
いつものお客様が少なくて
Oh, yeah, with all that's going on.
日に変わらず来てくださるんですが、おなつさんと善治さんがめっきり
Yeah, I don't think you'll be seeing
そ
them for a
の上
while.
旦那も来ないんじゃ閑古鳥が泣いて泣いて仕方ないですよ。
Well, thankfully you're rich.
少し味が落ちたか。
Oh,
え
or have your
出
taste
汁が
buds
薄いの
changed?
ではないか。
特に何にも変えちゃいないですが。
Because he drank the sake?
ならば私の気のせいだろ
Or you've changed?
私も途中までご一緒させてください。
Well, Ofu about to drop some demon knowledge on you, isn't she?
いろいろあったって。
Hmm.
う。すまない。気を揉ませたか。
ここで
Interesting. That feels like a deeper goodbye.
陣長下覚えていますか？
I don't remember, guys. It was a couple episodes back. Sorry.
凍える冬を越えて咲く花。
Okay.
春を告げる花。
Hmm. I don't like the look of this forest at all. Aha! She was there. He didn't sense her.
見えなくなったとしても、凍てつく手触りは刻まれる。
You say so.
深く。
Can we deal with this one long strand?
あなたの体、ちゃんと使い物になったよ。
How? Okay, I really hope that her blood being in that water is not going to be a problem. I really hope that it's not. I feel like it probably is, though. Like, we know that the water is an issue. We know that the tainted water was an issue. But okay, interesting wrap up to that particular storyline. I thought that maybe it was some type, I didn't actually believe that shopkeeper that it was a spring that he just bottled. I was like, what? But it was, in fact. And we find out, you know, Jinya did the math and realized that it was because something was in the form of body or something, or the wishes of someone who was no longer there. That was what was infused in the water. And he could taste it because he was a demon, but the humans just interpreted it as something that induced their rage or brought up their negative emotions. And because it was specific to Jinya, that is why the side effect for all the other humans was getting them so wrapped up in their negative emotions that they eventually became demons. Whereas it was more, what I took from it is that Jinya tasted it as the bitterness of regret more than anything else, like the deep regret. And that makes sense considering that it was Shiryuka that was in the water. Like, first of all, Suzune, you are a cold bitch to put her body in there and use that as the source of so much misery and hatred. Like, that would have, for Shiryuka, that would have been the ultimate disgrace, the ultimate desecration of her body after being so carelessly taken care of. But again, I love that they showed that Shiryuka used what she could in that state to do what was necessary to get Jinya to stop it. She knew if anyone could stop it and take her body out of there and allow her to finally be put to rest, it was Jinya. And it would have to be done kind of the way that she was able to do it. So that's a very long and very intricate way of weaving that story. It's a very, like, I would never have thought of connecting it in that way. But I love that Jinya finally got that moment because he really didn't get a chance to properly say his goodbyes about that situation because he was so in the moment, you know, and Suzune didn't give him much time to really process his grief at the time that everything went down. So I'm glad that despite everything, he was able to have that peaceful moment and know that she's now fully at peace and that she cannot be used like that again. But the fact that Suzune went to those lengths, though, to get to him is crazy. That's crazy. That is so hateful, honestly and truly. And so anyways, I didn't think that she would have just left. I'm like, she wouldn't have gone through all of that to bring Jinya there, which she too knew was going to draw Jinya out and then just do nothing. That part seemed a bit strange. But anyways, we see now that as Jinya worried, this I think was just part of a larger plan. I mean, it's not like, I doubt Suzune's been sitting somewhere under a tree just chilling all these years while Jinya's been out there. I think she's been carefully thinking of different ways to punish him for daring not to see her side of why she did what she did all those years ago and to, you know, basically make him pay for ever hating her, you know, because he doted on her, right? That's one of the big themes that was part of episode 1 was the teasing that he got from both Shiryuka and Suzune about how he would never even raise his voice to her even when she deserved it. So to go from that to that fateful day where he actually tried to end her life, yeah, Suzune's not over that. That's still something that definitely deeply hurt her and she's still very angry about about that. So yeah, it looks like she's in for the long game of revenge, and she probably spent a good decade just thinking about how she was going to do it. And now she's starting to slowly execute whatever this plan is. She does not want him gone quickly. She could have probably ended Jinya a few hundred times over at this point, seeing how powerful she might be, but she doesn't want it to be that way. I think her ultimate goal is to make him suffer. And I think truthfully, subconsciously, her goal is to break him of whatever it is that made him dare not to love her, and, you know, basically bring him back to where she believes he was before Shiryuka came in and everything happened that separated them, if that makes sense. That's what I'm predicting. I could be wrong, but yeah, she's become quite philosophical, it seems, since the last time we saw her. But yeah, at least that's all wrapped up. And like I said, Jinya got to put a little bit of emotional closure on that part of his life. But we see that unfortunately he lost somebody who very much was like a sister figure to him again, that in Natsu. Unfortunately, he was not able to get to Natsu's dad in time to stop him from drinking enough to turn into the demon, and there's no turning back. There's no reversing once it happens, unfortunately. And he was not able to defeat this demon with his human form. He had to tap into the demon energy to the point where he even used the sake. And it's interesting because he claims the reason he wasn't able to do anything in that form, either with the first guy, the shop owner, or with this man, was because of his emotions, his emotional state. You know, he said, I'm tired. I'm so emotionally tired. And that's kind of been a theme with Jinya for the last few episodes, with Ofu saying that he needs to start relying on people more, that he can't bottle everything up, with this Natsu's father, who was kind of embracing him like a father figure, with, I think even the harlot was even trying to kind of point that, or bring it to his attention that he's a little too lonely. And I think that it is wearing on him, because Jinya always kind of had someone to rely on or take care of. There's always been someone. So him being alone all these years and trying to be this Ronin with no one, who needs no one and has no one, it hasn't been working for him. It's really worn him down emotionally and mentally. And now really what hit him in this final battle, of course, was this man was like a father figure to him. He'd known him for a long time. They'd shared drinks. He was someone that he just felt comfortable with and felt a kinship with. And for him to have to be the one to put him down, you know, Jinya just kind of kept saying, like, after everything, he's in his mind, Jinya is clearly still blaming himself for what happened all those years ago. He thinks that it was his softness that allowed him not to, or stopped him from taking out Suzune when he had the chance. And, you know, I said it in the episode, I'll say it again, you know, having empathy and kindness is not a weakness, despite what some people might think. Jinya's heart is honestly probably what's going to save him, through all of this. Jinya's heart is why Akitsu didn't take him out, because we now know Akitsu's got some way more tricks in his arsenal than what he's shown. And so he probably could take out Jinya as he is right now, because while Jinya is powerful, you know, he's not that powerful. He's also a one-trick pony for the most part from what we've seen. So I just mean one trick in the sense of, even with his different forms, he still tends to fight the same way, recklessly. So I feel like Akitsu would probably figure him out very quickly and take him down if he needed to. But all that to say that, you know, Jinya just feels like he's been fighting an uphill battle, and that he keeps losing because of the fact that he cares about people. We saw that he was trying very hard not to care about people, but he did start to care about this man. He starts to care about Natsu. He cares about Ofu. He cares about the man in the shop. You know, it's just happened. And him having to be the one to put down this man that he saw as a father figure was heartbreaking. And he was so wrapped up in his own grief over it that he didn't even think about the fact that him shifting into demon form in front of Natsu would be a shock to her system. Now, of course, I teased in the episode that she's going to love him anyway, and I do think she's going to get to a point of getting over it, but it was a lot for her to perceive, right? He didn't have time to explain to her that there was no coming back for her father. But yeah, in her mind, she A, realized that she does not know who Jinya is at all, and B, you know, right now she needs to blame somebody for her grief, and it's easier to be angry at Jinya than it is to accept the fact that he saved her life in that form, you know. So anyway, kind of a morose episode in that regard, but as I said, I am glad that Jinya recognized that he got some closure, at least on that chapter. And then we see at the end there that Ofu basically gave him some silent encouragement, because I think she figured out that he's got a journey he needs to keep finishing up I think she realizes that his journey as far as figuring out how he's going to wrap up this whole thing with Suzune is still a thing. And I like that she gave him the gentle reminder in the sense of the botany lesson, and basically letting him know that, you know, you went through a dark time, but just like these spring flowers push their way through the snow and bring new life, you can come out of this and new life begins. A new start could begin potentially for you. So don't give up. So yeah, that was kind of an interesting wrap up. You know, like I said, it's nice to kind of after everything we've been through, come full circle about Shiryuka. And now maybe, just maybe, we'll start to figure out what's going on in the future and also kind of what Suzune's next plan is. Because if it took her this long to execute this one little part, I got to think she's not going to act again quickly. And I'm wondering why her bleeding into the water, is that another thing where we're going to get another tainted spring, or was that just simply just there for effect? I don't know yet. I don't think we're going to do the same thing twice though. So either way, the plot is continuing to thicken, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.